They grew up together. They were almost like, super close friends.
Lisa was known as an upbeat person. She's the kind of person that every time you would see her, she would smile at you.
My dad he kind of liked to be like, the guy in the corner, just like hanging out with his group. Didn't really like to be like center of attention. But Mom was usually pretty laid back. Like she was like into yoga and never really hard going. Dad was kind of more strict about things. Like, no, you can't do that, no, you can't do that kind of thing.
She was loving and giving, and you could kind of tell that in her profession. She was a nutritionist, also a yoga instructor, but she also volunteered her time as an EMS technician, emergency medical services. So you could see the kind of personality she was and what she chose to do with her life.
I mean, their personalities grew apart. I think they kind of settled for each other because they were friends, they were neighbors. But that never gave them the opportunity to grow as a person individually and experience those breakups and other people, which every healthy relationship and person kind of needs to go through, I think.
Thomas was dark, angry. He had a quick temper, and he was known to sometimes get violent when he had his outbursts.
I know they were seeing a couples therapist, which I don't think helped at all. I think it made things worse, honestly.
Lisa's sister, Lynn Everlilth, was never a big fan of Thomas Infante. She really didn't want them to get married to begin with. She said their marriage had been strained right from the get-go. She said those children had been raised in a really toxic environment. And she says that he was just a miserable person to be around. He was never pleasant to be around.
I think Mom was more of a gradual change. You can kind of see her, veering away, throughout the years.
She told her husband that she had met someone. She told her that she wanted a divorce. And according to her, she had told her friends, apparently, that she had already hired a divorce attorney, and she was ready, and she was starting to make plans.
But at a certain point, he just was like, Mom's cheating on me. And kind of threw me back, because, they've been my parents together for the whole 20 years of my life.
She'd seen what life could be like, a glimmer of it anyway, because she'd met this person that made her feel good. She was tired of the anger and all the time fighting. So she said, I'm done.
And she would go over, hang out with this guy, make dinner for his kids. And it was just, I'm like, just why would you do that, Mom? You got a great family, you have a great house. I guess she wasn't happy. She went up to me when she was talking about it. She was like, don't you want me to be happy? And that kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't know how to answer the question. I'm like, of course I want you to be happy, Mom.
So she's moving on, he's not. In his mind, he's thinking, I'm not ready for her to move on. She's ready for her to move on. I don't want anyone to have her. So what is he gonna do? So while Lisa has been taking care of things at home, Thomas has been taking care of business too. So he walks in the bedroom door, and as soon as he walks in the bedroom door, she hears him and she turns around. Lisa says, why couldn't you just let me know when you're coming home? Because it's pretty late at night. Why couldn't you let me know? Why couldn't you? And then she sees the gun. Once he shoots her and he knows she's dead, he leaves. He grabs some pills, he grabs some alcohol, he takes off and he hits the road.
Nobody really knew what was going on. Nobody knew where Dad was. I think after a while, we kind of figured it out.
He's almost to the Ohio state line, and he realizes, oh gosh, I gotta tell him what I did. He says he had some pills, he had some booze, and at some point he just blacked out. He basically says he didn't really know what he was doing that night. He really didn't know what was going on. He pleads to first-degree manslaughter committed under extreme emotional disturbance. So this, we can imagine, is the mitigating factor which is going to affect how he's sentenced.
But then also a lot of things came out of the woodwork afterwards, finding out that she cheated on Dad like 15 years prior with the same guy. So, I mean, I guess my parents did a good job at covering things up.
The daughter would testify that while her father really loved her mother, but she could not remember a time when the couple ever got along. And that seemed to be backed up by a lot of people.
Some people think that there's sides to the whole thing, like you're either on mom's side or you're on dad's side, which is totally not the case, because I know at least in my shoes, I love both of them equally. You know, they're my parents. I can't take sides. Right? I know Dad did what he did, Mom did what she did. They're both bad things. But I can't really, you know, say I love one more than the other, even after everything that happened. You know? But you just can't take sides to the whole circumstance.
The daughter's very close to Dad. She's very defensive. And she says, you know, Dad just wanted to be loved. That's all he wanted. He just wanted to be cared for. He loved my mom. They never got along. I can't remember a time when they ever got along. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of pain on both sides. But Daddy always loved Mom. He got his way. Thomas said, if I can't have her, no one will. And he killed her. No one can have Lisa now because Thomas pulled that trigger. Thomas made the ultimate decision.
Some forgive Dad, some don't, some can talk to him, some can't. It's just really hard. You can't let it hold you back. If it eats you alive, I mean, a lot of people, they would just go down the hole and never return. The whole aftermath of it really kind of tore the family apart. Like, no one goes to birthday parties or Thanksgivings or Christmases anymore together. I mean, me and my brothers and sisters, we're still really close, which, I mean, that's the most important thing to me. Like, I wish everybody could work together and be one big happy family again, but I don't think that'll ever be the case.